What's up, YouTube? It's TheSuperNamek, and I'm coming at you with another deck profile, one I promised you a long time ago. I just never got around to making, so I decided to go ahead and build it for you, and I've played it a couple times, and that would be TG Stun. Now, this is a deck that's actually near and dear to my heart. I like playing it a lot. I don't think it's a tier 1 deck by any means, but it's a good deck to take to locals and have some fun with. And, funny story, this deck is actually proven to win Dark Destroyers. So, on to the deck profile, guys. So to start off with the lineup, we have 3 TG Striker. This is your main tuner of the deck. It is an Earth level 2 warrior, and it's a Cyber Dragon. It can be summoned if you control no monsters, and your opponent does. And all the TG share the same effect. Whenever they're destroyed and sent to the graveyard, then they replace themselves with a copy of another TG monster in your deck, other than itself. So Striker can't go get himself, but he can go get any other TG. The next one is TG Werewolf. He is your level 3 of the deck. What this one does is whenever a level 4 or lower monster is special summoned, including during your opponent's turn or anything like that, you can go and special summon this card out of your hand. So that being said, he makes a very quick synchro plays, and he has the same effect where he can get another copy of any TG. And then the last one I play is I play 3 TG Rush Rhino. This is basically your beater of the deck. It's 1600 body, but when it attacks an opponent's monster or attacks, then it gains 400 attack points during the damage step. So he gets real big real fast, and he actually puts a lot of pressure on the board. On to the non-TG stuff, I do play 3 copies of Reborn Tengu. This card's good because this deck's all about replacing monsters and having floaters. And it's good for the synchro aspect of the deck. Although it sucks when you draw multiples, but every deck has something like that. And then I do play Small Clown Engine. I play 2 Damage Juggler, and I play 2 Hat Tricker. I don't play Trick Clown in this deck because Trick Clown's not very good in this variation of this type of deck. Mainly you use the Hat Tricker to basically help facilitate your synchro plays against Earth, so it helps you make Barkion, and it makes Trish a lot easier too. And that sums up the monsters. I believe that's 17. 17, let's see, 3, 12. No, that's 16 monsters. On to the spells. We do play 3 copies of Instant Fusion. Any rogue deck that has the ability to play this should play this at 3, because this is honestly a really ridiculous card and should not be at 3. But it helps facilitates my plays in this deck a lot easier as well, because you can do your Trish plays a lot easier. You can make rank 4s, which this deck very rarely goes into rank 4s, but does have the option. And it also just helps re-establish a board for you. On to my favorite card of the deck that I've been playing is 3 Creature Swap. Everything in this deck floats, whether it's straight on your side of the field or on your opponent's side of the field. And this deck has a really hard time with Cosmos in any deck that has cards that are non-targeting. So you can special summon the Striker, send it over to your opponent's side, take their Dark Destroyer, and then you get the search off the TG. Plus you have a 3k beater now that can't be targeted. So it's pretty good. My kind of tech for the deck, and a lot of people gave me a strange eye when I play this, but I do play 2 Pot of Dichotomy. More or less, what this card does is you target 3 monsters of 3 different types in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, and then you draw 2 cards. But you can't conduct your battle phase this turn. Some people ask me why I don't play Jar of Avarice. A couple reasons. One, Jar of Avarice does nothing when I draw for it. I have to set it for a turn, and then that still puts me behind. And then 2, this has better top deck ability than anything in this deck, because everything in my deck is a different type. Striker was a warrior, Werewolf was a beast warrior, Rhino was a beast, and then you have spellcasters. And then this deck, once its engine actually starts to get going, you run out of resources really fast. So you need a way to recycle them. And this card just does it the best. And then I play a series of 3 1-0s. I play 1 Rhoda, because Striker's a warrior. I play 1 Foolish for the clowns, and to help facilitate the instant fusion plays. And 1 Raigeki, because it's a good board wipe. And that is the spells. That rounds it off at 1, 2, 3, 11 spells. And then on to the traps. I only play 1 3 of them traps, and I play 3 in Venus Chain. This serves kind of 2 purposes. It's your effect negation, and it also blocks attacks. So that's why I play it in this. And then Breakthrough Skill. Honestly, targeting's not very good this format, but I feel like in this particular deck, this card is a little bit better than Breakthrough Skill. But that's just my opinion. I do play 2 Mirror Force. These would be Stormings, but I currently don't own Stormings. I've been playing this. And this card honestly isn't that bad. You just gotta play it a little bit better. You have to play it a little bit more carefully than you would Storming. To the archetype-specific trap, I do play TG1, EM1. This is Creature Swap for TG specifically. The only thing I don't like about it is it targets, so I can't use it to take like Dark Destroyers and stuff like that. But it's a good trap card. A lot of people don't see it in Aim 1. I do play 2 Call the Haunted. This deck, with its endless amount of floaters, such as your Tengus, your Rhinos, and stuff like that, they all get their effects when they're destroyed. So if your opponent decides they like Dark Hole Raigeki, you can flip this, Call the Haunted one of the monsters back, and then during the end phase, you get the effect. So it's a really good card. And then I play a series of 1-ups and traps, 4 of them. I play 1 Skill Drain, 1 Vanities, 1 TT, and 1 Warning. These are the 2 best trap cards in the game. A well-timed TT wrecks your opponent every day of the week. And then original TG decks used to play this card all the time, and it's still really good in the deck, especially when you put yourself in a position where you have non-targetables and non-destroyables. So you can flip this, and then all those cards become destroyable and targetable, and then your cards become a lot better. And most of the time you flip this, you win the game. And that's my traps. Rounding out at 13. And then on to the extra deck. We do play 2 copies of Norden. I do play 3 Instant Fusion, but that's because I want to see it as soon as possible. And this card is revived by Call the Haunted, and I have plenty of ways to recycle it with Potted Dichotomy, and I do play 1 Emerald. So this card's really good, and it honestly, I don't know why this card was made, but it's phenomenal. That's all there is to it. As for the level 5 Synchros, I play 1 High-Speed Red Shambara and 1 Armades. Armades because it's best generic rank 5, especially since nothing can be activated when it attacks, so it's a good way to steal games. And this card's actually really underrated. I was playing TG Wonder Magician, but then this card occurred to me that's a generic 5, and it can attack twice in a turn. So this card, with its effect, you can put a total of 4,600 points of damage on board, so it kind of makes your opponent a little weary about how low his life points can get, because if I can make this and get a clear swing, the game's over. And then I do play a couple level 6s. I play 1 Goyo Guardian because it's the biggest body level 6 that I can play. And I also play an Achuria Barkion because I have Earth Tuners and an Earth Monster make it, and traps sometimes are really good, so that's why I play it. And then my 2 tech choices, I play HCS Cyhemoth because its effect does not target, and it's really good under Skill Drain. And then my other card I chose to play was Orient Dragon. This card very rarely comes up, but I want to be able to have as many 6 options as I have. And then an interesting thing is in the Psy-Frame matchup, when they have Lord Zeta or Lord Omega, this card becomes really interesting because it banishes a Synchro monster on the field. So if I have no cards in hand, I can Synchro summon this and banish the Omega, or I force them to prematurely activate the Omega at my disposal, so that way I kind of control the game state even though they have the card. So it's an interesting little tech. I only play 1 level 8 in the form of Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend because I think this is the best generic 8. I would be playing Omega, maybe. I haven't really decided if I want to make the slot for it, but this and Omega I think are the best 2 level 8s, and for the events that I went to, I decided to play this, and that card actually came up a little more than Omega would. So it might stay in, it might come out, I don't know, but it's a really good level 8 Synchro. And then the whole reason I play the deck is Trish, because this game can go into Trish at least once per game, every time. And usually when I Trish you, the game's over. And that's it for the Synchros. And then I do play a couple XYZs. I do play 1 Levier because with the Trish being summoned consecutively, and you have the Damage Jugglers and Grave that you're banishing, you always have plenty of targets. So it's a good card. Dweller because graveyard effects are very relevant. Castell because in terms of generic rank 4s, this is the best one. I do play 1 Diamond Direwolf because this works with TG Warwolf. It works with a lot of the XYZ in here. And it also works with Reborn Tengu, so I get lots of pluses, and I can use this effect more than once. And then I play 1 Emerald because I want to shuffle everything back in my deck and use it. And that was my TG Stun deck profile, guys. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you have any suggestions for it. Obviously, it could use a little refining, but most Rogue and Stun decks can use that. So always remember to like, comment, subscribe. Later.